So my name is Sarah Elbadri, and I am a recent graduate of Rollins College in the Master of Civic Urbanism program. It's a long title, but I'm also the local organizer for National Day of Civic Hacking, and I also help put together some tech events around Orlando, including Startup Weekend. So this is an adaptation of a presentation that Andy Chen and Carlos Souza did. Andy's a local developer, and Carlos works for Envy Labs, also a developing firm. So the whole question is, what is civic hacking? There was a Mayor's Institute on Innovation recently in the nation. One of the top things that was brought up was civic hacking. A lot of mayors around the country are like, what the heck is civic hacking? One of the things they really know about it, though, is Code for America. Is anybody familiar with that organization? One. Cool. So Code for America is an organization that started up pretty small, that brought together some developers and designers, entrepreneurs, people who were thinking about how do we make the city better through technology. And it started off pretty small, but it's kind of grown into this epic thing around the nation where cities can apply for a fellow to come to their city, look at the data they have, and create applications or web-based projects for anybody to use. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of those products later, but it's really about how do we make the city better. So what exactly is civic hacking? Civic hacking is basically solving civic problems. How do we do that? Through hacking. What is hacking? A lot of people have very not so great connotations of hacking. A lot of people think it looks like this. Some guy trying to get into your computer and steal something from you, whether it's your bank account information, any kind of sensitive information, where do you live, what's your mom's maiden name, what's your social security number, and all that good stuff. What we like to laugh about is that this is not what this looks like. This is not what hacking looks like in the first place, and then this is also not what civic hacking looks like at all. This is an example of a hack, but it has nothing to do with technology. This is an artist who took a street and painted it and took your mind to a whole different place. It took the resources it had, what your mind was thinking, and just created this whole new thing, which is actually pretty amazing and very interactive and engaging. Right? So this is kind of like what we're doing with civic hacking. But what we're doing is using open data, which is what the city or government, any municipality has available to it that we can use. Orange County is one of those cities that tries to embrace, municipalities that tries to embrace open data, but it is not the most open. There's some offices that are doing it really well. If you ever look at our county appraiser's website, it is the best in the nation. You can find out what your land is zoned for, how much it was appraised for, what's vacant. It's really quite amazing. If you look at any other counties, though, you're going to be like, whoa, we had that problem in our GIS class. So it's really cool stuff. And this could be anything from transportation to environment. Orange County actually has a database or a data set that says where angry dogs are in Orange County, which is really interesting. So they map everything. So what we do with civic hacking is take that information and create something from it. One of the benefits of civic hacking, it creates this space for innovation. It takes all that data and makes something from it. It's not just this spreadsheet that you have to dig and scrape and trying to find out what to do with it. It also engages citizens in creative problem solving. I'll talk about some of the problems later, but it could be anything. One of the things that we're talking about building in Orlando is a public art finder. And Orange County has that data, but how do you find it? It's a PDF hidden somewhere that you need to find on the website that nobody knows how to use. So how do we solve that problem? One of those ways is through civic hacking. A lot of cities have embraced this, some of the most progressive ones especially. New York, San Francisco, even Philadelphia. New York is probably one of the best. They have a citywide competition called Big Apps NYC. They have grand prizes. They bring teams of developers together. They kind of unleash them with all the data. And then whoever creates the best product gets like $25,000, which is pretty incredible. It not only is giving them an incentive to do something amazing, but it's also providing a service for the city. It also provides insight into government decision making, and it gives the community a service through technology. So, teaches new tech skills, connects technology and non-tech people together. So how many people in here know how to code or build, how about a spreadsheet? A spreadsheet? Cool. So it's really connecting the spectrum of people together who really want to make their city better, and it helps citizens help themselves. We're going to skip through that. So real-world applications. So what I was talking about was transparency in the government and finding out what really we spend our money on. This one's a really interesting graphic. So who's the highest paid public employee? In almost every state, it is an athletic director of a public university. I think one state is hockey, but the rest of them are football and basketball. So it's pretty interesting to see where our money goes. But that's what brings the big bucks for universities like UF. Chicago is also an amazing city that's doing really good things. This was actually commissioned by one of the commissioners of Cook County, and it's called Look at Cook, and it looks at the county's budget throughout the year and the coming years. And then this one is actually a local one. Tweet3PO is a tweet bot that takes, I think, sorry, and I'm not a developer. It's taking information about any kind of arrest or police reports, tweets them, and then if they're in your local area, sometimes they'll use a hashtag for a neighborhood. They always hashtag Orlando, so if you follow that, you can find out about stuff like that. And then Orange County is doing one. Like I said, they're also into this like open data, how can we help our city through technology kind of thing. This one is 311, and other cities are using this as well. And this one's really cool. So if you don't have an emergency, right, 911 is kind of scary to call, right? You're like, what's your emergency? And you're like, it's not an emergency, but this thing is happening, like a pothole, or there's a cat stuck in a tree, or something like that. That's not necessarily a life-threatening emergency, except for the cat, but they're okay. No, exactly. I actually met a firefighter. Sorry, this is a tangent. I met a firefighter in Chicago from Sacramento for a conference or something like that. And he was told me this joke. He's like, have you ever seen a dead cat in a tree? And I was like, where's this joke going? I don't appreciate this. He's like, no, never, because they always come down. So again, not a life-threatening emergency, but something you'd want to report or tell somebody about. So 311's the way to go. You can either call in, but they also have an app. What's really nice is they have follow-up, and there's a history of your when you reported it, when it got taken care of, what was the time, and they also map all of the data, because they love to map in Orange County. This one's really cool, and again, like the public art finder that we were talking about, Norfolk has launched this. There's also other cities that have done it, and this is another Code for America project where a fellow came to a city, came up with this app. They basically use the same framework for every city. They just punch in the same data that all like counties have, and then it's there to use. This is one of the things that they're trying to do in Orange County here with the local Code for America Brigade. And this is not just with local municipalities. This is something that's being spearheaded by a national organization, and that would be the White House. So President Obama has signed an executive order to try and make more of the White House's data open. The White House's Science and Technology Office, NASA, Labor Department, the census data, of course, is open. So just trying to get more and more of those groups of people to give more of their data away in a responsible way. So these are some of the data sets from municipalities, and this is on the National Day of Civic Hacking website, and it's just other cities giving away their resources. So the question is, how do I get involved? One of the quickest ways is this Saturday. We're having a National Day of Civic Hacking in the Voxeo space. Do you guys know where the plaza is, where the movie theater is at? There is a really amazing company there called Voxeo. They have a huge space that they're giving to us for free for the afternoon where we can have this National Day of Civic Hacking. And what that day is going to look like is just having people come and network for a couple, maybe like 30 minutes, and then we're going to have some ideation happening. So just whiteboards where people can write what they love about Orlando, what they'd like to see change, and then maybe some data sets if they're one of those techie people that know about these things that we can use to make that stuff happen. Then throughout the day, we're going to have teams form, create some either wireframe or create some ideas about how they think this could happen, and then they're going to present it to the group. The local Code for America Brigade is also going to be there. So if they decide that some of these projects are like super viable and they can do within the next couple weeks, then they'll start working on those projects. And that's this Saturday, from 10:30 to 3. The other thing is Code for America, and this is one of the things that I am very passionate about and trying to bring to Orlando, is bring a fellow to Orlando that basically works for nearly free or a very reduced rate, it's very reduced rate, for the city to create all of these apps. This is their 24/7 job for a whole year, and this is something that any city could apply for, but it needs a mayor's signature. It does, yeah. And then we have brigades, which are local Code for America groups of developers, designers, entrepreneurs, and people like you who are really passionate about making their city better. It's just a volunteer group. Membership is open and free. They organize through meetup.com. And then they're focused on 5 things: organizing, opening civic data, which is just encouraging their local municipalities, government officials to be more open about their data sets, sharing awesome apps, so that's with other cities. Other local Code for America brigades outside of the Code for America fellows have created stuff that you can use, or that we can use. Again, helping the government get open, and then just coding. So people to teaching people new skills that are universal is really awesome. So the meetups happen in over 50 cities. There's huge numbers of people that come together to do this stuff. And then ours actually meets once a month. So the way to get involved with them is codefororlando.com. Again, National Day of Civic Hacking this Saturday. It's my first event through this. Like I said, I'm not a developer. I'm an urban planner who's really passionate about Orlando and making it awesome. So this is what I'm organizing and trying to be a part of. So yeah, this is it.